Okay, so this is my first BG on the Brewmaster, and I don't really have everything set up exactly the way I want. I just went in as a kind of test a concept, to see if it might be viable, and if I think it's viable, then I'll build up on it and make it more complete. I'm pausing right here, so I get jumped by these 4 people. It's 2 Frost DKs, that's a Discipline Priest, and an MM Hunter in the back. I get the triple stun on the 2 DKs and the Priest, but the biggest threat out of these 4 by far is that Hunter. Hunters, in my opinion, are the most OP thing in the game right now as far as damage goes, where I think even a bad Hunter puts out, lethal damage. I just can't let the Hunter sit back there and shoot at me. I'll die very quickly. So I somehow have to get on the Hunter, right, to keep them from being able to free cast on me. Unfortunately, you see, I'm going to be able to get past this, but this priest is going to cast mind games on. So I'm not able to do damage because that would heal my target, and I'm not able to heal myself because then it would damage me. So let's see how I'm able to get through this. Okay, so I was able to survive past the mind games. I got a really good ring of peace there to separate the 2 DKs away from the Hunter. And now what I want to do is I want to put my offensive pressure on the Hunter. I have no intentions of trying to win this fight. I actually just want to get away. But in order to do that, I have to put the Hunter on the defensive. If I start trying to run away, the Hunter just follows me and kills me easily. So I have to force the Hunter to turtle and try to run somehow. I'm going to use the Fallen Monks on this. This is Venthyr Covenant ability for monks, and it's OP. It's one of those many OP things in the game. I suspect it will get nerfed. You'll see the damage is considerable. There's a Discipline Priest healing this Hunter and also shielding him, but I'm going to be able to force the turtle, and the healer is actually going to life grip this guy away from me. So I'm on a tank, but damage is really, really high. It came very, very close to dying there. And this was pretty much my only play to even have a chance of getting away from this, was to pressure the Hunter. So as soon as the Hunter turtles and gets life gripped away, I roll out, right? And then I'm going to follow it up with a Venthyr port. At the end of this Venthyr port, you're going to see a black circle around me. That's actually an absorb shield that comes from General Draven's conduit tree. I think it's 15% of my max health, which is, considerable considering my max health here I think is 45k or so. Okay, and now here is that fight uninterrupted. So I got a bit greedy there, but I really wanted to kill that DK and that hunter that tried to gank me earlier. So for me, it was worth it to go up and fight underneath their graveyard. After I kill them, I try to move off, but there's like 6 ranged on me or so in the shaman. But what I wanted to do here was show you what the ultimate is for General Draven, if you're curious. It's the one that reduces damage that you take when you're under, I think, 40% health. But then if you die, it leaves a stone image that shatters and does damage to enemies near you, and it heals friendlies that are near you. And it's based off percentage of health. So this, with a tank, can do a lot of damage. It does spread the damage over 4 or 5 people or whatever, but if there's only one person, they're going to pretty much get one shot if they're not a tank themselves. You're going to see the shaman is going to die from this, and the warrior, the friendly warrior there, is going to get a full heal. So I'm leaving the graveyard, and this hunter, who is either in camo or shadow melded, jumps me into GY. In my opinion, it's kind of low brow to jump people in the graveyard, because if they're respawning, that means they probably don't have their cooldowns because they used them in a fight that they died in. But, he goes ahead and he does it anyway. And this guy, there is a gladiator, or at least someone with a gladiator achievement, with the same name that plays a survival hunter on EU. So this could be the same person, or it could be, someone that's an imposter, or just a coincidence that they have the same name and are playing the same class. So you see he has the shatter thing too, but I killed it before it could explode. Or you can just run out of range. It does have a pretty good range for the heal. It doesn't seem to have as much of a range for the damage. So I was able to kill him because my Fallen Order monks came up at the very end. If that had not come back, that cooldown had not come back, he would have been able to kite me to death most likely. But when you look at this fight, that's not like a typical DPS versus tank fight. Since the damage is so high and the tank has some borrowed power damage itself, that's almost more like a DPS versus a DPS fight, with the pacing of it. So that was kind of interesting to see. And as far as tanks go, yeah, usually I'm down on people that play tanks in BGs, but Brewmaster is so much fun, right? I played it in WoD. When it does good damage, right, it's a very, very fun class to play. There's a lot you can do with it. It brings a lot of utility. You can help other people. It's not a selfish tank. I think it's kind of a higher skill cap tank for PvP. So if it's good, I might end up playing Brewmaster in PvP. The main thing I want to do with it, of course, is tank. Right, I'd be tanking mythics with the Brewmaster. And it would be a bonus if I could also do PvP with it. If it doesn't work out for PvP, then I'll go back to playing Windwalker. I played Windwalker a lot in BFA, but I'm kind of looking for a change. Okay, so that was pretty much all the interesting things that happened in this BG. Everything else is kind of like group versus group fights. But I'll be posting more of these movies. I've done a few more BGs on the Brewmaster. I've done a BG, and I'll continue to do some BGs on the Arcane Mage. and I've done some BGs on Unholy DK, so I'll continue doing that. And I have a Beastmaster Hunter set up. I don't want to do MM Hunter. Everybody knows MM Hunter, is ridiculous. So I'm not that way. I'm not going to like take something that's really strong and play that. I'll try to play something that's not, considered to be OP and see what I can do with it.